There's a video that came out of Kamala Harris today from some years ago in California. She's standing right next to Gavin Newsom. I use the word Gavin Newsom as if he's a human being. That has not been verified. But whatever the kind of, AI bot who's the governor of California. She's standing there and she said, just because you have a gun legally, and I think I'm quoting, in the sanctity of your own home, doesn't mean we can't come in when we want to check to see if you're using it the way we want you to. So that, of course, is like a violation of the Bill of Rights. That's the definition of tyranny. And I gotta think they're so fixated on the gun question, not because they're against violence, they created violence in all of our cities, including your cities here in Texas, but because they don't trust the population. I mean, is there any other explanation?
No, they want to take your guns because they want to murder you, like every evil government in the history of mankind. And people can say that that's crazy. Open up a freaking history book. Governments, they'll disarm you and then they'll murder you. They'll disarm you and then they'll murder you. And if you think that these...
Wait a second, that's not on Wikipedia. That is not on Wikipedia. That's not what I read at all. I thought they were disarming you because you might hurt yourself.
Yeah. This is where you can think, if you're speaking to a normal person, like somebody who's not politically involved, they want the kids, school, watch the game on Sunday, and you start talking like this, they might look at you crazy or think that you're a wingnut, because when they look at Kamala Harris or Christopher Wray or Merrick Garland with his weird voice, why does he talk like that? And they think to themselves, well, he doesn't look like Stalin. He doesn't look like Mao. I'm here to tell you something right now. These people are so sick that kids will be dead in a school, and without an ounce of shame, they will stand on the bodies of dead children before the shooter is even dead to take your guns. And it's not because they've shed a single tear for a dead child in this country. It's because the dirty demons who want to hurt you lay awake at night dreaming about it, and they are so mad that they can't, because we are the most armed freaking people on the planet. We have the guns, we have the ammo, and that's why they matter.
I think you're onto something that they kind of figured out. I mean, they're not stupid, I will say that. And they kind of figured out that you can't give the game away really, in an obvious way. You can't just show up in some Latin American military uniform and say it's a junta, now obey. So you trot out this kind of drooling figure like Joe Biden to tell you, it's just grandpa. There's a lot of Jell-O eating and misremembering, but it's not dangerous. And that worked for a while. And then he disappeared, which raises the obvious, like, where is he? Is he still president?
Well, he never was president. I mean, we all know that, and he never was. The country's run by people like Susan Rice. It's run by all these vile little commies behind the scenes who they grew up worshiping Mao. We've heard all Lisa Monaco, all the people, all the Obama roster. Joe Biden was never there. He would never made a single decision. He was never allowed to make a single decision. His gift was the presidency. He gets a presidential library. Dr. Jill can make $500,000 a speech on the lecture circuit once they cart poor Joe off to the nursing home. And that's the only reason he was ever there at all. And you're right about when they talk about guns, and that's why they trot out poor Joe, and his favorite line is, well, I was out hunting, and you don't need a 30-round magazine to kill deer. Well, the Second Amendment wasn't to kill deer, it was to kill tyrants. It wasn't even to kill robbers. It was to kill tyrants.
Well, then you're sort of getting it, and I didn't even want to bring this up because I find it so chilling, bone-chilling, actually, but the most interesting fact from the debate was Kamala Harris admitting she has a gun. And I'm as for Second Amendment rights as anybody. I mean, I'm, more than anyone I know, actually, maybe other than you. But I don't think Kamala Harris should have a gun. I mean, why does Kamala Harris have a gun? Where did she get the gun? What kind of gun is it? What's the point of having the gun? And why is no one in the media asked? Do you know the answers to any of those questions?
Could you even imagine going to the range with that moron and putting a loaded gun in her hand? She'd be the one that turns around from the firing line. It's jam! You can see her doing it already off the bat. That she'd be that one. She'd be the one.
But was it a straw purchase? I mean, who gave Kamala Harris a gun?
Well, look, these commies are always trying. You see it with every Democrat who talks today. they're always trying to straddle this line, which is really Kamala Harris' specialty given her beginning. But she's, what? 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 So,
I'm so pure I didn't get your joke.
So when you're an American Democrat now, this doesn't apply to older Democrats at all. Like, oh, this is not the 1960s. If you're a Democrat today, a Democrat politician, you're a communist. And you're constantly trying to straddle this line where you're trying not to freak out the older Union Democrat guy. Maybe he's a firefighter forever, fought for this country. Doesn't really like Republicans, but loves America, right? 4th of July, he's out there, hand over his heart, land of the free. He loves that. You still need him to vote for you. But at the same time, you understand you've got a bunch of trash, and that's your base. That's your voting base. That's the Black Lives Matter, Planned Parenthood, the LGBTQ, Rainbow, Demon Mob. All you pick your one. You have to let those people know you are gonna burn down America the way they want to. Hey, vote for me, vote for Kamala, I'm gonna burn down America. But I can't really say it like that. So you have to try to give a little pat on the head to the 65-year-old Democrat who still loves the country. Yeah, I'm gonna burn down America, but hey, I own a gun. Hey, don't worry, not yours. And that's every time they talk. Now that I said it, you'll see it. Every time they talk, they're constantly walking this tightrope, trying to signal to their base, yeah, I hate this place like you do. Screw this country. At the same time, don't freak out, Ma and Pa Democrat. That's all they're used to doing. If I take it too far, then they'll catch on to the game that the Democrat Party's changed completely.
So I'm sitting listening to this, and literally my first thought was, if Texas ever goes blue, you're going to jail, man. You're on the list. Yeah, well, he's definitely going to jail if Texas goes blue. And it would be a shame. It would be one of the great shames in American history, because this is, above all, in addition to being prosperous and beautiful, it's a really nice state. It's just nice. And when you come here, you really notice it if you come from other places. Just the kindness that Texans show each other is amazing to watch. And you'd hate that to be lost. And it would be lost, I think, as it has been in the state that I grew up in, which is a state of people who are really suspicious of each other and mad at each other. And I wouldn't want that for you at all, I mean it. So do you think that this state is moving toward control of the Democratic Party?
It will be up to the people of the state, and I know that sounds like the most cliche answer in the world.
It does, yeah, for sure.
I know that was a walking cliche. Allow me to explain. What we have right now, we already talked about the people who run things, but what we have on the other side is what I like to call the low-T GOP. The Republicans, they're useless. They don't stand up for you ever. They always pretend like they're going to, and then they don't. Well, we can't, we gotta wait till the next election. And, well, you're clapping, but you're not gonna like this next part. You know whose fault that is? Our fault. It's our fault, and I point fingers at myself too. You mentioned the state of Texas here. This state should already right now, they should already be reorienting the state police, Texas Rangers, to stand as a bulwark between Texans and the federal government that is evil. They already should be doing that.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.